Hello YouTube, that Lego Builder here with another how to build, and in today's how to build I'm just going to be doing a quick little, hopefully quite quick video on landscaping or foliage and how you go about doing that. So right here I have a little mock that I've made, and I haven't yet done the ground foliage, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So I've done an episode on trees, and I'm not sure if I've done anything on houses, but yeah, I'm going to do ground foliage today. So I'm just going to kind of be showing my process and how I do that, and maybe you can get some ideas for your own builds and maybe make your stuff look more full and rich. So yeah, today I'm going to be using, basically I have this container with plant pieces that I use, so I'm going to be using grass pieces and these bamboo pieces, as well as maybe some of these 3-leaf pieces and flowers, and maybe these tendril things here. Yeah. Also, I'm going to be probably using some dark tan plates just to add some more color to the ground, because right now, as you can see, it's all green, and it has 2 layers. But you can't really tell too much. You can tell by there's a shadow right here and up there, but you can't really tell, but there are layers to this. But first things first, I'm going to be, since this house stands out so much from the green, I'm going to be making it blend in more by adding more light gray to the ground here, and I'm going to do that in the way of 2x2s. And if I can find them, right here, these kind of 1x2s, and if I can find some 1x1s in there, I'll be using those. So yeah, let's get started. So that looks good, and I think now I might add more to it as I go along, of course, but yeah. So as you can see, I just kind of grabbed tiles out of the bin and see where they fit and kind of made them a random pattern. Really, that's all there is to it, and yeah. So now I can reach over, get my 1x2 browns, and this little bucket here, and I might add maybe a dirt pile over here, or I'll see how that goes. I may add something at the back here, although that's pretty covered up already by the tree, so I may not do that. But I'll see, and you can just watch the fast forward on the camera. So yeah, let's get going again. Okay, so now, as you can see, kind of by what I've been doing here, I've had the idea of maybe putting a bush in, using some more of these alt brick pieces. All of these pieces, by the way, except for a few of them, are alt bricks, and so they have all these different colored shades, and I really recommend that you pick some up if you just go onto their website, or if you see them at a convention, then even better. But I definitely recommend getting a couple bags. I got 3 bags, but you know, it's a really good way to make your mocks look more colorful and stand out. I do really like this tree color, and unfortunately I used all the color leaves I have on the tree. So I've been using this more yellowy color. I don't know if you can really tell that it's more yellowy, but it's I don't know, is this the same color? Yeah. So this is the color I'm using on the tree, and this is the color that I'm using. So you can tell it's a bit brighter and more of a, I don't know, it's yellowy green as opposed to olive green. But that's okay. I will make do with what I have. I just dropped one of my leaf pieces, but that's fine. I'll pick that up later. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do, since the alt bricks they slide so easily onto poles like that, they just kind of slide down because the holes are too big. And I'm not complaining about that. That's actually a good thing. It's very handy. But what I'm going to be doing is basically just have a leaf like that, and then I'll change it out for a dark color, slightly darker. And then kind of surround that with these bamboo pieces to kind of blend the bush into the rest of the landscape. So yeah, and then you can't, it's harder to tell because of the green on green, but I am adding stuff. But yeah, so yeah, let's go on this. Finish the bush, and this angle isn't great for seeing this stuff, but it's the best I can do to kind of show you the whole overall view. And yeah, so you'll get a better view later. I will be posting pictures on Flickr and probably a video, so if that's not already up. But now I'm going to continue on just putting down bamboo and grass mostly, and maybe a couple of brown plates as I go. But this is probably going to be a fairly long stretch, and I could be wrong, but I will make it faster with the fast forward. So hope you enjoy seeing my hands flying all over the place, and let's go. So I finished the first half of foliage, well, really the first corner. Yeah, so you saw me take the house off and put it back on just to check how it looked, and I think it looks okay from my angle. But yeah, so you can see a couple of things that are notable. I used a lot of bamboo pieces around the edges, and I kind of covered up the fact that there's a base plate underneath. Well, there's a base, and it has square corners, so I kind of tried to cover that up a little bit by having the leaves stick out over the base plate. So that's one thing to consider when you're going to be doing this kind of mock. Another thing is that I went around, like I added brown patches where I thought it looked too plain or something like that. And that's another big thing that you have to think about when you're doing this. Is that, do you want to spend all of your time putting grass pieces down, or do you want to have and making it look full like that by actually having it look full or having it be full, or do you want it to make it look full and rich by adding color? And that's one thing that you really need to think about, is color. So I have different colored leaves, and those are different colors from these plant parts, and then the brown again is different, and then later I'm going to be adding flowers, which are probably, I'll check, see what looks better, but either red or white, maybe a couple of blue or some lighter green even. So that's where these stems come in handy. They're not just grass. You can put flowers on them, and you want to use that to your advantage. Also, you can't really tell, but I have lots of layers in here, and that's another thing to make it look very voluminous, is adding layers. So I have this big thing, this drawer of clear studs, so I just put that underneath some of the bamboo bits and sometimes grass pieces. Not in this particular one with grass pieces, but other times I do use them under grass pieces to make them taller and making them easier to place down, because I have large hands, so it's hard for me to get into the little nooks and crannies, but having the clear studs makes it easier, and it also adds volume. So the landscape is starting to look really nice, I think, especially with the house being covered in foliage too, like I've done. And with the tree, it looks really good, I think. So yeah, I'm just going to fill in the rest of this, and maybe do some more conclusions, and then we'll get on to flowers after that. That was a bit of a stretch, so that was about 10 minutes there for me, but yeah, not for you, obviously, but I did see, if you saw, I broke the tree, a piece of it fell off, so I had to get that back on, and that was a bit of a struggle, but yeah, I finished up this part of the mock, this side. It's looking alright. Still looking pretty empty, especially from above. Above is always the worst kind of view. You kind of want to see the shadows and stuff to fill it in. I will remedy that a little bit later with color and the flowers, but right now I'm just gonna see how the house fits on. I'm just gonna turn it around so I can see what I'm doing. So I have to line up the front porch properly. So, see, and it fits. Seems to fit just fine, which is good. It's very good. Yeah, it's the whole ensemble together is looking really, really nice. Actually, I might throw in a couple of little tools or something around to make it look more run down and abandoned, and because that's what it's supposed to be, is abandoned and overrun with nature. But yeah. So right now I'm just gonna take the house off and add a little bit of flowers. Back, because you don't need too many of these flowers, and you can already tell that your attention is drawn to the color of the flowers as opposed to the in-between space of the green. So if you put the flowers on parts that are densely packed with foliage, you get a lot of attention drawn to that spot. Just naturally, that's how your eyes work. And then people don't notice as much that there's empty spots. And you can see that in one of my more recent stuff, because I've come to realize this with time and watching other builders, that you want some color. You don't just want all green. Even if it is different shades of green, you can sometimes get away with that, I guess, but also adding color and flowers is more fun. So yeah, it looks good, and it's fun to do, so why would you not do it? I think that looks pretty good. That may just do it, actually. I think I'm done. So this is the completed mock, and you will see a video of this. You will have. I will be uploading that video first. So, yeah, that's about it for this how to build. And so I guess I'll summarize some of the key points that I've covered. One is color, and you want different shades of things as much as possible. And Alt Bricks is a great site for that, where you get different colored leaves. And I've got all these colors, as opposed to Lego's colors, which are just really a few shades of green, as opposed to Alt Bricks is 10 shades of green. So definitely pick those up. And they also make different colors like oranges and yellows too. So like that. So one is color. Number two would be levels. So you want to make your landscape all different layers and adding different colors underneath, different little dirt mounds and stuff, and you want to add bushes and trees, different aspects to foliage. That kind of, you make different heights. So this is the lowest point, then this is the highest point. The house is right in the middle. So it gives the effect of surrounding foliage in this particular case, which is good. Third is blending. So in the very beginning of the video, I blended in these steps with the house to make the house stand out, to make the gray part of the landscape. I guess those are the 3 key points. But yeah, maybe just by watching you got an idea of my process and how I do things. I may just add another flower over here. Like that. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more how to builds and more mocks and more updates in the future. Thank you for watching, and happy building.